Today was the first day I feel like I played with this wind direction, so I went heavy on forehands, and in practice I wasn't throwing many at all. So I was able to switch it up today, and I think that really helped to score.
There's a lot out of bounds. It was probably gusts up to 30 miles per hour at some times and consistent windy the whole day.
Well, the thing was the wind was exact opposite of both practice rounds I played, so I mean, at that point, you're just guessing a bit.
So I'm sticking with my gameplay, what I practice, because here it's all about the placement shot and placement golf.
I was throwing the disc well, just not getting in positions. I didn't putt as well as I should have, but it's hard to get into a rhythm out here. You know, it's cold, windy.
Yeah, feeling good, feeling confident. There's gonna be more hot scores, like better scores than today. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting tomorrow.
That's kind of my goal, is just to be in the mix. Yeah, it just felt good to get that nice round under my belt again, and hopefully I can continue that.
I'm happy to play with Väinö, fellow European, and back on the lead card. I did the same thing in Vegas after round 1, and then I just trickled down the leaderboard in the round 2, 3, and 4. So my goal this week is to not do that again and kind of solidify myself on top.
Hello and welcome to round 2 coverage of the 2023 Open at Austin, presented by Lone Star Disc. We're at the Harvey Penick Golf Complex on a brand new course here in Austin, Texas. You're watching JomezPro with Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
The winds are down, guys. We're going to have lower scores today. It's just going to be more attackable than it was in round 1. We got blown around in round 1, but it's still pretty cold. It's not going to be comfortable temperatures, at least not what we think when we think of, sweet, we're going to Texas in March. But Simon Lizotte, he's used to the cold temperatures, living in Massachusetts these days. See how he handles the scoreable conditions. Paul McBeth, C1X putting. He said that he wasn't putting as well as he needed to be, but I think he's talking about maybe C2 putts, because he seems to be getting it done in the circle. When he's making his putts, obviously, he is always a threat. Väinö Mäkelä, we've seen some incredible golf from him in the past. Can we see the consistency needed to remain at the top? And obviously, Gannon Buhr, he's just one of those guys now. He's becoming the consistent top 4 in the world type player, and we're just so thrilled to see him come up in the sport. It's going to be an exciting round.
Get it started off here with hole 1, par 3, 462 feet. You saw it in round 1. Out of bounds left, out of bounds right. Little left to right wind, probably not so bad today. And that was the basket over there, tucked in the very corner. Big sidearm is going to be the play here if you have it. Turnover, roller is a possibility as well.
That was a good option. I feel like the sidearm is hard to get that much distance with the angle. But we also don't have that big left to right wind. If there was one hole where the wind was helping in round 1, it was hole 1. And we don't have that big push. See if Simon's able to get all the way to the pin like he was in round 1 when he parked it. It's a good angle. Just a little help off the foliage. And that's essentially the difference between what he did in round 1 and coming up C1X, just outside C1.
Good break there to stay in bounds.
But I'm with you, Paul. The forehand play is probably the safest play, just to get something in bounds and stay right around that 100 to 120 foot mark. Paul's even closer than that. He's going to be maybe even in C2.
Väinö's going to go with the mid-range option. It's going to have to get this high and left with a lot of angle. I love that.
Needs to avoid overturning. And gets the same break Simon received. But that was another really nice angle. high and tight with the forehand for Gannon.
Smoked.
Really good.
Yeah.
And that's just a weapon. We don't see him bust out that often because he's just so good at the other things. But man, that's more than a serviceable weapon. That was an absolute laser.
Väinö content to lay that up. Kind of low ceiling. Tough spot to get aggressive.
Always great to have one of our Finnish friends on the lead card. And Simon, great nose-up effort. That is his specialty, the low ceiling spin from range. A great bid for the birdie.
Looked like it had potential till it caught that shrubbery.
And Gannon taking advantage. That is such a tough get. It is just such an awkward angle to carry that much distance. 462 feet. Yes, it's downhill, but because it's so far right with that early mandatory tree, getting that far right with the out of bounds, that really contains your ability to really rip one. That shows a lot to me about Gannon's forehand trust and huge putt to take a lead.
This looked like such a good putt, and right at the end, just falls out 6-5-5-5. It's going to be a tight race.
Looking at hole 2, par 4, 690 feet. All this long grass is out of bounds immediately off the tee, along with another line on the right side that we're going to be flying over here in just a moment. That makes this golf green, that sand trap, all that area also out of bounds. And then it wraps around the pin at the end. You can see on this graphic that it's a very small area where the basket is. So you'd like to push up there about 400 and then swing your shot out and take your skip into this green. Try to slow it down using the ground.
Pretty much perfect. That's just the shape of the fairway. At no point was that in any danger. Didn't necessarily have to go for a long distance off the tee, and Gannon's now in the middle of the fairway, probably about 260 feet left to the pin. Simon, a very similar route, cutting the corner just a bit, getting more distance off the tee.
Very conservative from Paul.
Yeah, I'm surprised everybody doesn't just do this. It opens
Really?
up the angle to where the backside of the green, there's just nothing, absolutely nothing in the way. 330 to the hole from there.
I really like the way in the past McBeth breaks down holes. He seems to come up with solutions that, oh, good shot for Väinö, just kind of living on the edge. But the way he breaks down shots is makes things very simple for his game plan, and it's not always what you initially see when you go practice a course. McBeth sees things in a different way, and that's probably why he is.
What do you guys think? Does that look pretty easy right there?
Makes
Sure
it look
did.
easier than I probably would. That's for sure. That stuff is just a formality for him. I mean, those 300-foot throws are just close your eyes and just walk. I don't know, walk somewhere, walk to the refrigerator and grab a.
Bail.
No, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna come up with something and I'll finish it later. Good shot for whoever the last person was who was throwing. Was that Simon?
Oh, no.
This is fine.
Oh, great. Where was I looking? I thought that was going OB left.
It's an awkward angle.
Yeah, I had a strange sense for where that disc was headed.
Bail.
Nice.
Thank you, Nate. And that's essentially 4 park jobs. The difficulty of hole 2 is essentially your game plan. I mean, do you need to go for a 380-foot shot or just do what Paul did and go for 260 off the tee and just break the hole essentially in half?
Well, I think he got a birdie and everybody else got a birdie. It's just that Väinö almost got a 6.
Yeah, he was living on the edge on his tee shot.
Yeah.
Paul didn't almost get a 6 at all.
Yeah.
I think yesterday's windy conditions too.
Round 1, you mean?
Yeah, round 1, pardon me. Round 1's conditions. I feel like the play that Paul's doing there was like the best play in those conditions. So he's probably playing conservative yesterday and then was like, oh, this is really easy. I could do it today as well.
That makes sense.
Yeah, hole 3, par 3, 354. You saw the double mando. That's not really in the way. It makes you a little nervous. You got a little bit of out of bounds on the left here. Out of bounds straight, so if you throw something too straight, you could go out of bounds on that green. Basket's on this little hill. Highs are in front of the trees or behind the trees. Get it to stop, and you got yourself a little bird.
I would counter. It's not really in the way. That shouldn't be in the way. But anytime I think you see those arrows, it almost serves as a straitjacket. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't do that, but it feels like you're constricted in some ways.
No, not for these guys. Maybe for you and some people out there, but I'm just kidding.
Okay,
I saw this happen.
Straight out of bounds for Simon.
You're going to tell me that's... I feel like that's got to be some sort of effect that the mandatory creates. You just don't.
I think
see
what
Simon
it
do
does,
that.
what it does is it makes this hole slightly harder because you know you have to throw flat and finish. And if it wasn't here, people would throw a swinger the whole way. And now you have to do a little bit of a different throw, but it's not that big of an issue.
I mean, Simon just hit the mandatory, didn't he?
I don't know that he hit anything. It looked like he just ripped it straight at the out of bounds area, and he's going to be kind of in a tough spot. At least he'll be able to draw it backwards if he needs to. Does this have enough distance?
You're telling me that was just a straight shank?
It looked that way to me.
Yes, it looked like a straight shot.
Oh, I thought he hit the mandatory and went left.
I don't think so.
Oh.
Oh, he's electing to re-tee. Interesting.
And this is pretty straight, guys.
This could be in super...
Does eventually finish.
But, I mean, that's out there in 50-foot territory, and from where he's going to be putting from, that's going to be a very, very fast putt.
Hard to lay that up, especially with what's happened so far. You got to think he's probably taken a stab at this.
And this is for bogey from 50. He does the... Is it the grandma putt? I keep forgetting the name that we came up with that last year.
I thought we just called it a floaty
The
putt.
dad putt, I think, maybe.
Ooh, wow. Nothing
Gannon.
floaty about that. 3 under. Something tells me the hot round's going to be a little lower than 5 today. With the wind down.
Gannon's 2 off that mark through 3, I think. And these aren't the easiest holes. I mean, hole 1 is very difficult. 2 and 3 on the easier side, but still.
Yeah.
Just getting that bonus on 1, he's off to a perfect start. McBeth with a nice putt and Mäkelä off left. And this now for a double bogey for Simon.
Ooh.
Hang on.
I would say this course has a very clear easiest stretch from about hole 10 to hole 16. Is kind of the birdie zone, and everything else out here is kind of get what you can, or if you're Gannon, just get all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really where the under par strokes are made so far from what we've seen on this course.
This looks perfect. Off the basket. Now it's rolling. It's headed for the OB. This needs to sit. Oh my goodness. It's safe. Right on the line. She's going to have about a 30-foot putt for the win. Okay, here we go. The putt is up. Boom, it's in. Strong side with authority. What an incredible moment. Yes.
Hole 4, par 5, 1,028. It's about 450 to get past that green to the left side where the players would ideally like to land. From there, it's another slightly blind hyzer. You want to land on this last little circle green area, giving you the best access and angle down the chute, through the woods, to the green here, protected. This is a tough par 5 that can get you in trouble early on if you don't put yourself in a great spot. This needs to start moving left or get long.
Here it goes.
Yeah, the big skip. Okay.
Well, he doesn't really have that slow down
Yeah.
on his disc.
We talked about that at Vegas, how he's added distance to his game, and it's a scary proposition for the field.
This
This
flipped
one's-
a
Oh, my
lot.
word.
Might be so bad that it's fine. Yeah, so bad that it's fine.
That's Eminem's song. I'm so bad. I'm so good. It's just early, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and say it's early, and I'm trying my best.
This one has problems, possibly.
Yo, boy. Living on the edge is Väinö in the first 4. Loving it, though. Good angle there.
Wow.
Very surprising.
Is this just long of it?
I think he's right in the middle.
Oh, no. And very right as well.
And so we are actually going to take about a 30-minute wait, and you can see Eagle there is he's on the right, and there's been an unfortunate incident where a cameraman was hit by a shot by Eagle, and there was a long backup, and they actually were granted an opportunity to play catch and to stay warm, which is just a provisional rule at this moment because there was such a long backup while they were tending to the cameraman, and now they're back into the swing of things.
It sounds like he is, as all right as you could hope for.
Yeah.
Basically a spike hyzer right to the top of the head, a lot of blood.
Yeah.
But yeah, best wishes to him. And obviously a tough situation for Eagle as well.
Doubt. And McBeth's shot is going to put him in a really tough position. I don't think he's going to have any play for the green, really. And Simon's shot, after going out of bounds on the green, just curling up in time, that would have been a very tough double OB to take.
Super high here. Is this going to be a little short of ideal?
Yes.
I think that's not really where you want to go because now it's a very difficult angle to the green. Maybe over the top again.
And Gannon, I was wondering if we were going to see this. The big high play, when you get long enough off the tee, I think it's possible to get yourself through this gap and put yourself in a position where you're within 100 feet with an opportunity to look at the eagle. And that's, I think, exactly what Gannon was trying to do.
Look at this little nifty business.
Yeah,
Oh, my gosh.
That's
is
fantastic.
That was amazing. That was gross.
hard to get a camera angle to really, truly appreciate how tight he had to get that to the early corner with a flipping up shot to get through that narrow corridor. That was insanely good. Fairly common play to go over the top, but Simons does not get all the way to the green, and that's probably going to be a bogey. Back-to-back over par holes coming up for Simon.
Yeah, I didn't love that one, but it made it to greenside. A little short, but that doesn't look great. This is awesome right here. Little lean out. Yeah.
Gannon
Perfect.
is perfect still. Okay, Simon actually does have a good look for the par save. And he makes it. Wow, spoke too soon. Great scramble. Little step out. Beautiful delivery.
Big par there for him.
And this is McBeth now for the improbable birdie, and he gets it.
Wow, that shot. Swinging it in and skipping it to a place where he could hit from C2.
That's the
Sweet.
magic of McBeth.
Oh, and look at that spin in.
Oh, wow.
That's a great slow motion capture.
That birdie is on his third shot. I mean, and the putt was great. These guys are just lighting it up right now. This is good stuff.
Wow, what putts.
Yeah, look at this.
3 slow mezzes in a row. And unfortunately, Gannon just threw too good of an approach. He's played the hole too well. He's not going to get a follow flight. He's just going to tap in for a sick sequence. All players playing the hole in 4 shots. Simon just with the 1 out of bounds throw.
What a start. 4 under through 4. That's the stuff dreams are made of.
Yeah, course record 5 is in danger. I think in big time danger.
Yeah, after hole 5.
Yeah, after hole 6, I think we're going to have a new course record the way Gannon's playing right now.
There's a look at that saving shot from McBeth. Snuck it through there. Big skip. Fun to watch.
This would be a big get. Paul, are these players going for it?
Oh, yeah. 482 feet, par 3. I think these guys are just going to be swinging the hyzer, trying to hit that little spot to the left. Stay away from that bunker. It's a little collection area there that they can do, but it's pretty manageable today. Not a lot of wind. None of these guys will be laying this bad boy up. All they're trying to do is get past this bunker right here. If they can do that.
There's some sand up here. He needs to watch
that
out
one right
for
there.
it.
Oh my gosh, Gannon Buhr is on fire.
That was crazy. He touched the green. He kind of flew over the sand, and he still parked it. Or essentially, I mean, for 482, we can go ahead and call that parked.
That's in the park neighborhood, no doubt.
This is also kind of tracking sandy, isn't it?
It certainly is.
That was sandy, yeah.
It must have been an incredibly overstable driver for Gannon because initially it didn't like the angle out of his hand, but it fought so well. Good ground play.
I like this one, I think. Oh, I'm
lot
starting
to
to
like.
love it.
A lot to like.
Väinö just smacks the disc.
Yeah, he does.
He really does.
That had no turn on it at all. There's a helping wind today. Here you go. How
Just
about we
one
just
angle.
go wide and high?
Oh, that's going to roll a B.
Gonna have the C2 putt to save.
So McBeth in the hazard, having to play it from where the disc was out of bounds, and a bogey coming up. Simon trying to avoid that fate with a scary putt. There's out of bounds very close behind the basket. Not scary for him. He is such a good putter. Almost careless seeming in his delivery.
That's Simon's whole affect, I feel like.
Yeah.
Kind of that happy-go-lucky approach to the course. I think it's part of why he's a fan favorite. Obviously throws incredible shots, but he kind of just has that attitude where he's in attack mode and come what may, you know? And look at Gannon. This guy...
He just finished high school, like just a few months ago.
Like early, right?
Yeah,
he
he finished early because he didn't want to do the schools no
had
more.
things to do.
He's got birdies to get.
Birdies just yelling at him.
Oh my goodness, 5 for 5 start. Quite good. And Väinö with a great bonus birdie as well.
If he wants to get that course record, this next one, he's going to play tricks on him, though.
Yeah.
Hole 6. Hole 6 is a guardian.
I think we have at least one astronaut in this group, if I had to guess. These guys are showing me some stuff today.
I mean, it's only 316 feet.
Yeah, it's only
but
316 feet.
So far left. And you got this little guardian. These guys do go to the moon, but when you come back down...
You aren't the same guy. You aren't the same guy that went up. No. You got to explain that to your wife.
If this tee pad were 2 feet wider to the right side, it would open up the angle for this in a way that I think would make it just a bit more dangerous. Gannon's tee shot puts him in an asteroid field. There's just no way to get through to the pin from there.
You know what I think would open up the angle on this hole?
A different...
If the tee pad wasn't pointing totally the wrong way.
That's kind of what I'm saying. If it were just a little bit right, if you could start more right.
Come on, moonshot.
This is like a Simon special.
This is
right
absolutely.
here.
It's a trick shot. I mean, the tee shot is a trick shot.
Yep. It's a trick shot, and he's got it. I think he's got. Oh, he hit the tree.
Come on.
64 feet away. What a shot.
And he has no idea what happened. He's wondering why the crowd's not clapping. They're probably giving him the, oh man, so close.
Such a sharp angle from Paul. I don't think it's got the glide to push much past Simon.
Good call. So a bunch of long putts coming up and one most likely layup, from Gannon. Doesn't even have a play at the pin, having to play safe to the left.
Good try.
One of these guys is going to make it. Come on. Might be this guy.
Good effort given.
Get that to the right side. All right, he's made 2 in a row outside that. Oh, my. Almost off the tree. Well, my predictions were a little bit off. Should have stuck with my gut. 6.
And if there
Guardian.
If there was a hole to average par, exactly 3, it would be hole 6. It actually did somehow get birdied by 9 players, and it also got bogeyed by the same amount.
It's like we were never here.
It's just like we went from 5 to 7.
Oh, my goodness.
You guys have a look at it?
Sure. From 60 feet, just like everyone else.
Me too. I went forehand roller over the top because I was on tilt. I didn't care about anything or anyone. Did I just see what I think I saw?
I think you just saw a person go from 11th card.
Cole Radallen, 12 down on the day into first place.
Nate, I'm going to go ahead and tell you something. That scorecard
me
with a bogey. We're talking 5 under was hot.
Yesterday.
Hot. It was spicy hot. It was Carolina Reaper hot.
The 18-year-old coming off a podium finish in Waco, his first.
Yeah.
Looks like a superstar in the making. Wow.
He's got everything. There's nothing Cole doesn't have except for the experience. Hole 7 is a difficult get, 382 feet. It goes right. There's bunkers in the way. A big forehand that swings and pushes at the same time is how you get there. And Gannon showing off his forehand ability once again. That is no easy hyzer. He is inside the circle, and he's trying to get to 6 under.
He has elite forehand distance, not just like good forehand distance. Like he throws it farther than both of you guys.
Yeah, so I was just about to say that. This guy's got more gas than these old dogs.
Oh, yeah.
And that's for
and
sure.
And Vino's got more angle control than you two as well.
Thanks, Paul.
And probably you, Mr. Angle Master guy who thinks he's got more than Vino but probably doesn't.
This is an insanely difficult backhand and hyzer. What you're going to see most players, and Simon's going to...
Yeah, that's what they get for trying to be the angle guy.
Got a sandy landing for Simon, but to get the ceiling correct with the right amount of anhyzers, what you're going to see a lot of players do is overcut and turn into cut rollers.
Mm-hmm.
Very... McBeth, come on, dude.
Look at that. Like just a little
smoothie
throw. And that went.
We all
so
knew
far.
that he had the
of
gas.
Of course.
And
but
one of the tools he's been working on most.
Look at the slowness here.
That to me is like Tristan Tanner effortless.
Absolutely. And Tristan Tanner power level. Like this says 382. It's bigger than that because it's such a tight inside hyzer, in my opinion. This is not like you're a 382 in a field. This is like 410.
Legit jealousy feels going on right now. Simon, wow.
Yeah,
another great delivery. And he is 1 over on the round, and he has just been scrambling and losing strokes to Gannon left and right and just maintaining and battling. And he's going to need to get that score under par the way that people are playing the course right now and just jamming it home is Vino. That is really good backhand turnover birdie.
I don't have an exact count, but I think that might be the 40th birdie of the day for this group.
It's
starting to feel that way. Like these guys are shredding.
I don't care. I mean, the wind is still not, it's not like a complete no factor.
Yeah, sure.
It's certainly out there. And these guys are bringing it. These guys are just bringing it. 3 birdies in this hole is more than you're going to see almost any other card. It's just very challenging to get there.
I'm pretty sure Väinö just set the speed gun record with a putt.
I told you that guy.
I think this golfing can improve our community in many ways. It brings people together.
That maybe some of these kids who feel a little bit lost could find something like disc golf, find friends, find people to come together and play the sport.
Encouraging people to work together, kids to know one another, love one another.
A way for these kids to have a really fun thing to do together.
I think that's what we need in the world, love one another and do life together.
Looking at hole 8, par 3, 330 feet straight away. Like we said yesterday, kind of the first straightforward hole that you come to on this course. And maybe one of about 2 or 3 that you just sort of look at and go, okay, I definitely know what I want to do. Whatever your favorite straight shot play is, go ahead and do it.
I don't think this is great.
No, it isn't.
It's just a surprising misrelease considering what we've seen from him thus far.
But
Probably
he's still
make
like,
it,
yeah,
yeah.
he's still at 38 feet. So the basket is not feeling safe. Ooh, this better be so flippy.
Feeling safer. Although if there's one person that the basket should not feel safe about as far in terms of distance, in terms of speed coming into the chains.
It's those two guys.
It's those two
both
guys.
of those guys.
I mean, Väinö could have probably just putted it from the tee.
What are these guys
What's
doing?
happening?
Just throwing little floaty hyzers? Nobody's getting a flip on it?
I mean, it's a star frame coming up, but like, why do they have to work so hard?
Simon,
This is
Simon
not.
will show us.
Yeah, he's not having that floaty garbage. Super steep analyzer release. No floatiness about this. But he's over there in their country.
That is strange that they're all over there. See some putts.
Oh, he doesn't have a lot of room with that tree on the right. I think this is going to be not his kind of party.
Oh.
Still drawing metal.
And this is just too close. But that tree might be in his way a little too.
Not if he just putts through it. Okay.
Wow.
Still time to get a star frame, Simon. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I would have never predicted this.
Everybody.
It's a par frame now.
For sure the easiest hole they've come across. Dead wind. Oh my gosh.
Blah, blah, blah.
Bogey for Buhr, most likely.
What?
What a way to put the brakes on for the group a little bit. That is shocking that this is the hole.
Yeah. For the fans at home that like seeing the human side of disc golfers, this hole is just, what a relief.
What a treat.
What a treat for you, because this is not what we would ever expect to see our lead card do here.
No, we honestly were like, all right, these guys are all going to make it,
Yeah,
even though they're over
absolutely.
there.
That's what I thought.
And then they missed everything and an extra. So,
Okay.
pretty bizarre. That Gannon's still in 4th place, which is pretty good. And the last 9, or the last hole of the 9, par 3, 462. I'm guessing they'll start frame this one to make up for the miscues on the last one, which is hilariously true, probably. Tough little hole. Mandatory on the right. Gotta stretch it out. You do have some guardians on the left, and you have some high limbs, which really kind of makes the roller tough, which I'm guessing we'll see from somebody. But this guy was throwing this shot.
Oh, Väinö, I love it. If it gets to edge, it's going to be super good.
What?
And it got to edge.
McMurdo Station, baby. That is crazy.
In Antarctica.
Yeah.
That is where one of our commenters said he had to dodge heavy vehicles. And I want to know more about that story. Heavy winds in heavy vehicles or something like that. What is that? What does that mean?
McBeth's like Falkland Islands at best over there.
Oh, this is past the limbs. Oh, well, hyzer it out
That's
a little
great.
bit.
That's great.
Sure. Call it 45 feet.
Wow, is there that much height available?
The answer to that question is
yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Gannon going long. I am just, when I see this hole, the last thing in the world my mind thinks is, oh yeah, just a nice little driver anhyzer. And these guys are showing that this is indeed actually a very good challenging par 3. I didn't feel that way when I first played it. I still don't necessarily feel that way for my personal game, but these guys see this as an attacking hole. And Gannon unable to counter the bogey on 8 with a birdie on 9.
Ooh, corner pocket. Nice. See this one more time. How much room did this have? Did it touch the rim or just clean? I'll call that clean. Just over.
And we haven't even gotten to Väinö's drive yet.
Yeah, this is the drive of the day, without a doubt. Like that slow turn. He didn't hit it as high as those guys either.
It had no chance to do anything else besides get all the way here. And he has shown why he belongs on lead card.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of him as of late on the coverage, but we get a little dose here and there.
Sure.
And then you look over in his home country and he's just smacking up fools.
Mm-hmm.
And now you know why, because if you can throw 480 low ceiling baby turnover to 8 feet, you're going to be beating a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure.
Driving into the course this morning, we were kind of joking about what would be the most Ricky Wysocki thing to do. And we're like, what if he just shows up and shoots a 12 under, goes from being completely out of the race to chase card? And we just try to come up with a random number that was kind of ridiculous, like 12, like just some score that seemed unreasonable. Then Cole Redon comes out here and just lays that score down. Hats off to you, man. You are putting a number up there right now for the league card to look at. So good shooting for you. He's already done with his round. These guys still have 9 to go. But regardless of what happens for the rest of the way, just know this is going to be an extremely tight event. The score doesn't really allow for much score separation, and you're going to see that reflected in the scores.
A lot of birdies coming on the back nine. Let's see how low these guys can go. We'll be back with the conclusion to round 2 at the Open at Austin, presented by Lone Star Disc.
Founders Club, we thank you.